Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today in part 3 of our playthrough of Babol the Walking Box, and we're going for the next stage. Of course, we're going to be doing this with the advantage of God mode given to us by punching in the chili dog code at the title screen, so make sure you get that in if you haven't already and enable that God mode, which is going to make the game a lot easier. So, to pick things up from last time, after we defeated the Stage 2 boss, which is going to be Boo Boo the Bunny, you're going to make your way down, keep making your way forward until the stage transitions over to this ice level. And then we're going to get back to using our invincibility to tank our way through all of the enemies, obstacles, and explosive boxes. We're going to get to this checkpoint, and then the game is going to finally give us a challenge in the form of platforming. Now, the jumping controls in this game aren't going to be stellar, as the game is going to have very bad input lag, especially whenever you're going for a moving jump. So, in order to counteract this, what you want to do is want to make sure you come to a complete stop every time you need to clear a gap. That's going to be my best advice for any of these platforming bits where you are going to have to jump over these gaps right here, as again, the gaps are going to be the only things that can kill you during these parts. So make sure you just take your time with this. Don't worry about anything else going on in the background. You're going to be invincible from everything else. So make sure you take your time and make sure you are minding the distance on those jumps, and then you should be able to get through those a-okay without any major issues, as long as you are being patient with things. Then you're going to make your way to the next chase segment. You're going to be chased by a polar bear this time. Thankfully, this one's not going to be as difficult as the first one, so just make sure you keep moving forward, and whenever in doubt, just make sure you hold down and keep tapping the jump button, and you should be able to get over everything. There isn't anything that's going to be a major setback, so just make sure you're persistent on keeping an eye out for those gaps, and don't mind the explosive boxes, because again, thanks to invincibility, you should be able to tank your way through all of those a-okay. And as you can see right here, you should be able to jump over most of the other obstacles, and the only thing you really have to worry about are going to be the fences. So just make sure you look for those gaps and then try to punch it through them as quickly as you can, and then just keep your distance from the polar bear. Once we get over the last set of things right here, we're going to complete the chase segment. Your character is going to get blanketed by a ton of snow right here, which is going to be the end, and we should be good for the next chase-related achievement for another 100 gamer score. Then we're going to have more or less the same old in terms of the traditional platforming bits, just get through them a-okay, and then we're going to basically do this until we get to the end of the level, which is going to be another boss fight. This is probably going to be the hardest boss fight in the game, even more so than the final boss, as we're going to have to juggle the fight with some platforming towards the end of it. So once you get onto this iceberg, you're going to trigger the fight against Rolli Molli the turtle. For the first phase of the fight, he's going to follow you wherever. Just make sure you take advantage of your invincibility and then try to keep him in the dead center of the iceberg. Once he rolls onto his shell, that's going to be his active hitbox, jump and ground and pound, and then as soon as you can, make sure you quickly run over to either side of him. So we're going to go to the left right here as the iceberg is going to collapse into 9 segments. Then once you are cleared, make sure you jump back to the center and then just wait here until he finishes his attack animation. Then he's going to flip back on his shell, and then you want to do another ground and pound. As soon as you do that, make sure you quickly jump back to the left iceberg, and then we're going to have to basically move from iceberg to iceberg, as staying on a single iceberg is going to start collapsing them. So make sure you are constantly moving on this. This is made very hard thanks to the awkward jumping controls of the game, so remember to try to do your jumps from complete stops, as running jumps are going to be very, very bad in terms of input lag. But just make sure you don't stop moving from iceberg to iceberg. All the meanwhile, make sure you keep an eye out on the center. As soon as you notice him go down on his shell, quickly get to the middle and do your ground and pound to finish him off. Once you manage to take him out, you should be good for the fight as well as the stage and the achievement that goes along with that. 100 gamer score for this one. That's going to wrap it up for now. We have one more stage to go, which we'll cover in the next part. But that's all there is to it.